The NeuroDADverse podcast is produced by Squid Shack Studios.
Hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Dan.
We're both fathers,
We're both married.
and we're both raising kids with diagnosed neurodiverse conditions.
Parenting is tough, and we're not saying it's harder for us, just different.
And sometimes that different can be hard to explain.
That's why we've created the NeuroDADverse, a weekly show where we share our wins, our challenges, and all the neurosparkly and neurospicy bits in between.
Our hope is to create a safe space for parents to share their own highs and lows of neurodiverse parenting. And just to remind you of three things.
You're doing great,
You are enough.
and you're definitely not alone.
So welcome to the NeuroDADverse. Hi, and welcome back into the NeuroDADverse, where we discuss all of the neurosparkly and neurospicy elements of parenting. This is a podcast for, about, and definitely by parents of neurodivergent children. We're going to get together and share our biggest challenges and wins. We have a look ahead to what our weeks might be like next week, and we reveal the bath time scores. Good evening, Danny.
Good evening, Ben. Oh, it feels weird saying that, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll notice a slightly darker tone, but we're still going to be uplifting. It's just how it looks. We are recording of an evening because our Sunday plans are a little bit askew. So there you go. I don't think it's going to change much about what we do. It certainly doesn't change how we are going to sum up our week in 3 words. Do you want to kick us off?
We're getting so smooth at these transitions, but love it. Yeah, and love the mood lighting, by the way. So my week in 3 words. It took me a while to try and articulate this properly, but I'm happy with transitions, day naps. Yes, I know that's 2 words, and functioning.
Nice. Okay, good. We all know transitions can be challenging, and it's taken me until episode 13 to get a smooth introduction. I've gone for surprising, Whirlwind, and Tidier.
Oh
No.
no,
I
I like
know.
that. Okay,
Oh, I know.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued.
What's on the possible wins and challenges menu for you this week?
So my week included Frankie going back to school, the transition between going to work again and school life and trying to make them balance again. And Amy leaves for a weekend away.
Wow. That immediately sounds challenging.
It's been a short week as well. We're recording 2 days early. But yeah,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a lot has happened.
less data. So similarly, both of the kids started back at school. We had a lot of chats around unpicking what that was like for them. As a family, the 4 of us went out for dinner on the first day they were both back together at school, and Mabel's begun year 10, so she has kind of started I put it in inverted commas, revising. So they are the main things that have happened this week. So yeah, let's get into it. I would just like to say, just before we kick off with the wins and challenges, I kind of write up the main things that have happened with my week, and then I go, oh, that's definitely the challenge. And then the more I think about it, the more I think it might be a win. And I can't put it in either column. So I don't know if that ruins the format at all, but I guess I'm just getting better, or it's becoming more common for me to see both sides of the experience. And that's, yeah, I just wanted to point that out.
No, I agree.
I
I agree totally. I say a lot of the time, I think my win and my challenge are combined because it depends what guise or angle you look at it. Because yeah, every time I've said, "Oh, this is challenging for me," you've gone, "But actually," and
Yes.
and it's
Sorry,
true.
I'm laughing because it's like I'm telling you it's not a challenge when clearly it's your experience. But yeah, I know what you mean. As you talk it out, though, stuff just becomes a little bit lighter, or sometimes you hadn't realised that actually it was more challenging than you thought, and you kind of give yourself a bit of a break about it.
But also, when we're doing this, it's I think we've said this off recording a couple of times. I'm like, we do this as our challenge and our win of the week, but obviously how the kids feel about it totally different. For
Yeah.
me, something could be challenging, but for him, he's just like, it's a 2-minute thing that. So yeah, it is just about that
Yeah, that's really
reflection.
interesting.
It's just a reflection of it.
Yeah.
I talking about it feels nice, and I can go, actually, yeah, actually we made it through, didn't we? Because I always just say, as long as you get through it, you've got through it. And but yeah, it's
how bad was that for the child, really? Like, it's
Well,
often the condition, diagnosis, however we want to describe it, that's not the issue a lot of the time. It's the perception and our managing of it. Who's this podcast really for? It's for us. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, it's that, like, who's the what were we talking about before? Routines. Who are the routines really for? But yeah, it's our experience, so I think that's good. Cool. Shall we kick off the nighttime with wins?
okay. Do you want to go first, or am I going first?
Yeah, go on. Go ahead. Why don't you go ahead?
So my win, sorry, unsurprisingly, would be Frankie transitioning to school was my win of the week. We did share a couple of social media videos. That if you do follow us on Instagram and TikTok, you might have had some early access to see them. I decided to make a video just after Frankie left for school on Tuesday. Saying it actually went really well, considering I was not sure if it would work, and then listed 15-ish different reasons why I didn't think it might work, half of which happened before school, the other half would have happened at school. So the win is he's been up and ready to go to school and get on his transport bus, incredibly happy and smiley and willing to do it every day this week, despite it being a half an hour nearly earlier pickup than last year. So he gets picked up now around 8, just after 8. It might get a bit later as the week goes on, because obviously everyone's new. There's different kids and different routes, which obviously is a challenge potentially as well. But because he's been sleeping so differently, we've been up for hours before school even starts. So actually it wasn't a challenge getting him ready for 8, but if I'm being totally honest, maybe 60% of last school year Frankie wasn't even up at 8. So that was a big worry, thinking, oh my god, they've told us that we're first pickup, not last pickup. That half an hour is huge. How are we going to get around this? But he has done it, and so far so good. But I'll probably come back to it a little bit more on my challenge, because actually also that is part of my challenge.
Okay.
The whole transitioning from school to work and wherever else. But yeah, so
it just sounds great though, mate. Like, is that for like 4 solid days?
4 solid days.
Amazing.
Getting picked up at least half an hour earlier. And on the flip side, he now gets home 25 minutes ish later than he did last year as well. Okay. So his day is already an hour longer than it was last year. But
it's just that familiarity of transport. It's been a long time. There's been a lot of things happen where that hasn't happened. A lot of times you've had to kind of break that cycle and go, we go out now, open door. We had a lot of that chat in the summer. It's just lovely to know that for Frankie, he feels that transport and where he's going on that transport is a safe place.
Yeah, I think
it's really like, and when you've had, I don't know about you, but when you just talked about it, how great it feels, took me back to the dreading being on time for the bus, but also Oscar being regulated in a way that was acceptable. It didn't feel like you were harming them by dragging them out to the bus. So
yeah, that was the one. Is he ready? Like I said, well, he's got uniform, new shoes. I mean, obviously you tried to break in shoes, but you can't really prepare for the real thing. So all of those little changes. But what he did do, which he did do last year, he's now in year 2, 3rd year. As soon as he saw the uniform, like, put onto the radiator the night before in the morning, his eyes just kind of goes, thank the Lord, Dad, you're letting me go back to this place. Because I do think, I do feel from his reaction that he missed it, and that's why he gets stressed, gets ready. And this morning, we literally did our entire school routine in half an hour, because we got up late. but he wanted to because I think he saw on the side, this is a school day. So I know that there'll be probably a lot of people listening that go, oh my God, you're so lucky your kid wants to go. Because yes, there are people who have been telling us this week, kids aren't. But I say everyone has different challenges. He's always liked going to school. The challenge is trying to get him to school in a way that he can engage with school happily. Transport last year really helped us do that. The year, our first year, trying to get him into school happy, on time, and following the normal school rules, I found incredibly challenging, and so did he. So I think part of it was he's just like, oh, I haven't got to be with you all the time. I'm going back to this place. Result. Yeah. There were lots of mini challenges on the way. He sits in a different place and all of that. But yeah, that is the main win that he's showing willingness at the moment. So long may that continue.
And I think it's important to note that clearly the work that is happening on that transport and with the people at the school were making it, a place that Frankie feels safe mainly. And Laura and I used to say the whole time through primary with both the kids, we were like, we just want to hope that when they wake up in the morning and they know they're going, that they want to go.
Yeah, we just want him to be happy. We're not expecting him to teach him necessarily anything to change the world. We just want you to have a happy day to go back tomorrow.
We want you to want to go and be happy and just pick a thing that was good about it. That's what we used to do. Obviously, there's complications along the way, but yeah, that sounds great, mate.
So yeah, tell me about your win.
So it's kind of a couple of things that I mentioned about. It's been surprising because I will say the last week of the summer holidays, both of them almost pretty much said they were like dreading it. They might not have used the words dread, but they were like, it was not a topic of conversation. Well, Laura and I didn't really bring it up, but both of them were going, oh, absolutely not. Like, I can't believe it's school again next week. And we just tried to kind of brush it off and ignore it because we just thought we'll wait and see how we get there. So when we got there, they've done 3 full days together, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The mornings have been fine. They've had solid days at school. I did have a chat to both of them about that. Obviously, I'll be doing this, and it'll be kind of school time and school term. And I'd made the decision to kind of go, I'm not going to talk specifically about your school experiences, but it might play into it. How do you feel about that? And they were fine with that. So, sorry, if you're listening and hoping for an in-depth delve into both my kids' academic pursuits, you're not going to get it. But generally, like, I was asking them, like, tell me a good thing about today. They're starting to open up to those questions. I don't ask the big wide, how was your day question. I hate receiving that question myself, actually. But I asked them to pick what was good about your day. I've just got their timetable pinned on their wall and a handmade calendar. Sounds more fancy than it is. It's a bunch of A4 pages clipped together where Laura drew out the calendar just because they wanted it like that, so they can scribble all over it. So Oscar's got that. And I pointed to the things and was like, which was the best one today? It just happened like before they were going to bed last night, maybe. And they said this one. And I said, oh, okay. And we ranked them. That might be content I could use. We ranked them out what's out of 10, and some of them were 2 out of 10, and some of them were 9 out of 10. They're doing, as part of an art thing, they're doing some photography, so we talked about that. And then they had a new Oscar had a new teacher. It was maybe I shouldn't say it because maybe it isn't funny, but Oscar said we had to have a new teacher. And he kind of, Oscar, they swallowed their words at the end of the thing. They had to have a new teacher because the other one left and they died. Actually, Oscar said retired. but I only heard the end of it. And I'm like, but that's really sad. And Oscar said, he was too old to teach. And I was like, what? And he said, yes. So he retired. And then I understood that I'd got so the comedy was in the fact that I'd misheard, and Oscar found that very amusing. But anyway, he, and this is why this kind of chat around the bedroom, around school chat, was a big win. A, that I was having it, but B, and said, he's like you, actually. And I said, oh, but he doesn't teach the subject that I teach. And then the guy, and then Oscar says, he's just got energy like you. And I thought, is this an opportunity for a follow-up question, or I'm going to hate myself for the answer that our neurodivergent child will give? And I said, what do you mean by that energy? He said, he did this with his fingers, touched his fingers, and went, it's just positive outlook. And I went, oh, I'll take that. Thank you so much. He said, it's okay. And then they went to bed. So yeah, there you go. I've got the same energy as their new teacher. So that was my big win, because it just made me feel good. And this is my criteria. But more than just being told I've got good positive energy, it was just the fact that we were talking. And I just said to Oscar, I said, putting you to bed like this is amazing, because when you were younger, and I'm trying to point out, when Mum was on, because Laura was on a night shift, so I had this slightly more increased time with them. It was horrible, quite frankly. It was like often a physical battle or an emotional battle. I would spend hours just sat outside their room while I just hoped they went to bed, back and forth, and kind of going in and then being screamed at, and horrible stuff. Really tough. I just couldn't meet Oscar's needs, and I never knew how to. And I said, it's amazing, because it used to be like that, and now we can have these lovely chats, and I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud of us for getting there. And Oscar was like, oh, I remember that. It wasn't good. And I said, well, that's okay. It's nice now. And it was like, oh, God, we are doing quite a bit of restoration and therapy there, which is lovely. And we just sort of, and Laura, I decided as well, the other part of the win is that we said, right, well, they're both, first day they're both to school is a Wednesday. Let's just go to a restaurant and eat some food, right? We don't do that often, but let's make it the first day, because you get them in the car. That my big, not big theory. It's not like I'm writing a paper on it, but like, get them in a car, get them driving, they'll open up emotionally.
I was about to say that. I was like,
by
oh,
the
this
time we
always
get,
happens. Yeah.
by the time we get there, there'll be a distraction of, oh, we're going to go and eat some food. We went to a restaurant that we like, a chain restaurant. We know they will be comfortable in, and that was just great, because I didn't mistakenly, I met Laura there from work. Laura put Oscar's like phone and stuff in my bag, and I then went and put the bag in the car. Oscar had no phone, but we didn't realise. So that meant Oscar was at the table for us the whole time without phone. And sometimes they don't feel, and they were interacting, and they ate like a whole bowl of mixed like ramen, and we were like, they've done that once before, but mixed food in one place is not Oscar. It is separate. Even if it's a roast, it's like you have to have these sections, whatever. And Mabel was good, didn't get particularly like overwhelmed. Laura was very good. A friend of ours met us there as well. It was just like, I walked away from it going, well, I don't really know the detail of how their first day at school went, but I know they had a good moment of their day. Now, you can't do that all the time. But it turns out, yeah, we had a surprising first day back at school. The big win. It just feels lovely to be able to do things in that way. as a family.
Yeah, and the fact that they both had a good time at the restaurant clearly shows that they had a good day at school. But like you say, I don't need to know the details. We had a really
Yeah, that
nice memory.
well.
Because if they didn't, they wouldn't want to be there, or they wouldn't have
Yeah, I
engaged.
don't want to be too closed about it. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they went in. There's been no big issues to deal with.
Nice. Good.
So yeah, great
Yeah.
stuff.
That's brilliant, mate.
Switch. Yeah, I feel very, very, very lucky. I'm very much in the chronicling of this is a good start. This is a good start. We spent 6 weeks thinking, how do we get them into the space where
Exactly.
it won't be a big deal, and it's
Mhm.
currently not a big deal. I'm stopping myself from thinking, I wonder if that's going to be 5 days in a row next week. But we only have now, and now is good. So we'll chronicle that.
Yeah, ditto to what you just said, 100%. We know it can all change quickly, and
Yeah.
enjoy it while it lasts.
So
I
you're-
always say everything's a phase. We're in a good phase at the moment.
Yeah, totally. You were saying, so your transitions were the challenge. I'm interested because
Well, one of my 3 words was transitions, because the whole week has literally just been a giant transition and lots of mini transitions sort of between school and work. My 3 words were transitions, day naps, and functioning.
Oh yeah.
So if we're going to slide into challenges, my
You've just been sleeping all day because he's been at school.
my challenge, and how it's related to the win is Frankie obviously happy, engaged with school and whatever else.
Yeah,
The challenge has been what happens for him to do that. So
right.
that's
Okay.
probably not the best way to articulate it, but so his sleep is still
Scaffolding?
not good. Oh, maybe I like that. That's
Yeah,
probably
like what scaffolding you've had to put in place.
Yeah, so getting Frankie to school and having a great week, everyone goes, "Oh, you must be so lucky." They've probably, if they were upset with that, they've probably turned off. They're not listening anymore. Hopefully they are.
That's fine.
The stuff that I hadn't shared, because otherwise there's no reason to have a pod if you share everything on every social media videos. So I'm really happy with him transitioning and whatever else. But it's his sleep is still so erratic. The cost on us to get him up, and this is where I was saying, like, sometimes the challenge for us isn't a challenge for him. He doesn't care that he's only sleeping from this time till this time. He's obviously getting enough to function for the day he's having. We are struggling, or I am particularly struggling in the last week, where we haven't really slept properly the whole summer and maybe the last few weeks of school. Him waking up at 3 o'clock and having a disco, we like to call it, and not going back to bed again. That's how he's up and ready for 8. We've already been up for 4 to 5 hours. He's ready to go, and somehow he's going to bed earlier now, because obviously he's tired. He's doing like 15, 16, 17-hour days. He's going to bed earlier of an evening. But then if I fall into the trap of, I'll just do some work, I'll just do this, I went out with a friend, I come home, I go to bed, he's up. I think last night was particularly tough, because I went out, got back, was just mooching around and doing bits and bobs. I went to bed at 1:45. Frankie was up by 2:15, 2:30. Amy was leaving to go to the airport at 3 o'clock because she's gone away for the weekend. So I'm solo parenting for the weekend, which will definitely probably be a win or a challenge in next week's pod. Spoilers. So I had less than an hour's sleep, had to be up. He then watched Amy leave. In fairness, it kind of has done me a favour, because he saw her go and get in a cab at that time in the morning.
Right.
So I don't have to explain to him, or I'm not explaining to him why she's not here now, because he would have. And then I was just like, do I just turn off all the lights, sit on the sofa, see what happens? I did that. He actually came and sat with me, snuggled up, and I think around 4 o'clock we went to sleep again. Him right between me and the corner of the side of the sofa. And then my alarm woke us up at 6:30, because I set an alarm just in case. He's usually up well before then anyway. But I was just tired. I was just really, really tired. So I got into school. Everything was good. And now he's getting picked up at 8. I now gain literally an extra 45 minutes in the morning, which I'm thinking of trying to do something proactive with. Like, I've gained 8 till 9. What can I do? That maybe do some walking, do some exercise, do something else, not work related. But today I had to go back to bed. I literally just set my alarm for 11. I went, I've got to go to bed. I slept from about 8:15 to 11. I woke up, didn't feel particularly great, just went for a walk, had something to eat, then I did a couple hours work. I also had to do that on Wednesday because he just woke up. I only had a few hours sleep. He didn't go back to bed. Amy goes to work at she gets up and leaves the house by 7. So because I am self-employed and work from home, I am nocturnal usually. I don't mind doing the staying awake, but it's just been going for so long now. It's just knackered me out.
Yeah, it's just
So
it's
that's the
yeah,
challenge.
it's all working stuff out. But I do think there is you're right to say that overall, not that it's mutually exclusive, but if you flipped it the other way, he and you guys slept through, but then mornings were like every morning was the worst school transport transition you've ever had over and over again, 5 days a week. I think you because you have the opportunity to rest, like it is great. But yeah, I know it's
That's tough.
yeah, just when that neurodivergent brain is going, it's just going to go, and you just have to be looking after the needs. Yeah, we didn't have it that they were Oscar was super active, but we did have it that they would be awake and wanted to be in certain areas of the house, I remember. So we'd be kind of just like one eye open on the sofa, that, and that would be like all hours of the morning.
My power napping game is high. Like I've been living off power naps, power nap level 90. But yeah, it's I don't blame him, and I can't blame it. He's probably very much similar to me. I am nocturnal. I find it incredibly hard to switch off normally, which is why after a week or two, I do start to get more tired because I literally have to physically either be dropping off doing what I'm doing, or it's super early hours of the morning before I naturally feel tired. So he just takes after me. When he's awake, he's awake. That's the other thing I have, because I might speak to people and I go, why don't you have a nap in the day? And I'm like, it's not always feasible, because although I'm incredibly tired, once I'm awake, my brain's on.
Yeah,
and it's trying to get my brain to turn off to go to sleep. So I was that
One
tired
of the
twice
things-
this week. I was actually able to do that. So
So Laura really struggles with regulating her sleep. For similar reasons, we have a diagnosis which is helping us understand why.
yes,
But what I did a couple of weeks ago, I thought, it was the week of the diagnosis. So I went, right, I can't, like, she has it. We can't, or she is it. We don't try to make her not it. Does that make sense? Am I explaining myself? Yeah. We don't go, I don't know, you lose your sunglasses all the time. In fact, the last time we were recording, Laura was like, I need some glasses. And there we bought Laura some prescription glasses. They're her backup glasses. She will lose her glasses. Might as well get a backup pair. That's how you help that need. You don't go, well, just keep them in the same place the whole time. That doesn't work. So
you're firefighting before the fire.
Yeah. Well, I'm going round and round to tell you that I thought, well, let me try to see what it's like if I give Laura a Oscar style evening, which is big run of the bath, candles, music, get out, dry, slow, walk into cold room where there's a fan on, so Laura sleeps with the fan, get in. I mean, she doesn't often do that, and it sounds just a bit like a good bit of self-care. Because of such the sensory stuff, she was asleep in the bath. I had to get her out. And she then dried herself, got into the kind of room where the room was cold, and snuggled in, didn't have anything on the phone, dropped off to sleep, and had 10 hours worth of sleep.
Oh, amazing.
And I was like, well, you have a similar brain, so why aren't we? Yeah, so maybe, I don't know.
No, it's
give yourself Frankie's bedtime routine and see how long you sleep for, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it is fascinating, because usually the task of putting him to sleep, usually if one of us is going to fall asleep 95% of the time, it will be Amy, because especially if it goes on to the late evening. But yeah, I don't know. He watches telly, and now I'm just like, we get to about 7 o'clock, and I'm like,
Yeah.
7, 7:15. I turn it off and go, let's go to bed, babe. And the whole house is dark. All the windows. I've already turned all the blinds down after his bath. I tried to make it as dark as
Yeah, nice.
possible. In about 2 weeks' time, I won't need any help because it will be just pitch black
Yeah,
outside.
fair.
But yeah, it's when I get tired is usually not a good time to sleep. That's usually I could easily go to bed at like 5:30 in the afternoon because I'm sitting there, we've got comfortable. I'm tired now, but I can't, and then I have to start the
fair.
engine again. But yeah, I've said
I feel like this conversation is resonating with people who have kids of all types. So
but yeah, so that's the other side of the coin. I've shared
Yeah,
a
of course.
story online that everything seems great, but behind the scenes on the non-social media side of life, just been absolutely shattered. So yeah, my work has suffered a tiny bit, and it hasn't caused any big issues. But yeah, I've basically lost nearly a best part of a school day's working because I was so tired I couldn't function. I had to go to bed. So yeah, so he's asleep now. We're
Cool.
solo parenting all weekend. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, that was my challenge. What's your challenge?
Well, it's pretty short. I mean, like I said, Mabel's in year 10, so she started revising. And what her system is she needs to build up to doing a bit every night.
Okay.
She reasons that there is 6 terms. So, and they do like when you're in year 11, they do like a Saturday morning revision hour or hour and a half.
Okay.
So there's 6 days, and Sunday is her football day, right? So 6 days she could do a bit of work, but she's nowhere near that yet. She's done very little. School, it hasn't been like that. So basically, she said, well, I'll start with one evening a week. I said, okay. And I thought, oh, how am I going to push this? How am I going to put the structure in without being teacher at home, right? Because that's not our dynamic. It's not our vibe. I think she has to work it out for herself. And that's not me being harsh or standoffish. It's just who she is. She's going to work out the world. So she's going to work this out. So she comes home and goes, on Thursday, this was, Thursday's going to be my day, Dad. She's decided to do term 1 day. She does an hour of it. Term 2, she'll pick 2 and add it up so that she's ready for year 11. It's a pretty simple way of doing it. Like, she's like, I don't do any at home right now. I want to get to somewhere. We do it in this room here. So her bedroom is completely non-school work related because it needs to be a safe space for her. It's been a challenge because I want her to be in control of it. But as a professional, I look at her and I go, okay, cool. So I need to look at the register and see all the flags that she's got and make sure I do this and this, or maybe she's got this, or maybe she's that. Actually, she works really well if I do this. I just have to try and switch that part of myself off and just go fine. So she was here this day, and I watched, and she went through a lesson that she had yesterday, and she was looking at some stuff for an assessment that they had coming up. After about half an hour, she's like, do you know what? I'll probably be all right with this tomorrow. I kind of know this. And everything in my body was like, you should probably do some more, or do you want me to show you? Do you want me to look something up online? Like, how can I help? Just my job, right? But I just didn't say anything. She went, well, I really know this poem, but don't really know this poem, but I'll have another look. And she spent about 10 more minutes. And I was like, okay, just wait. So, and then she's like, do you know what? I'm done. I'm going to go upstairs. I went, okay. Now, the fact that we even got to that stage on her steam is good. It's, I just want her to make school about school, if that makes sense, or school about the lessons, because she's had quite a lot of stuff that hasn't been about the school, and it's been really tough for her. So yeah, that's a challenge. But again, that's me. Like I've got to keep that within myself because I don't want to run before we can walk. The fact that we're here at all is great, and she's showing interest in studies is rad. So
I was just about to say, Sam, from my point of view, that sounds like a huge win because, you know,
yeah,
off her own back, she's done all that. But again, it's about how we feel, not about. But yeah.
Well, it's a bit of both, isn't it? But like, it's me going. I have to be counterintuitive. I can't be teacher. Just have to be. I'm checking in with you. What have you done? And if the assessment didn't go well today, she knows I didn't revise it enough or didn't do enough. It's very, very much even my relaxed, inclusive teaching persona. I am not a strict teacher. I try to work alongside the child as much as I do be in charge, even though I have to tell them to tuck a shirt in once and now and again. Even that version of me, I try not to bring out at home because she can smell it a mile off. It's not, you're not dad. So,
no, but it sounds like you did an amazing job of being dad because, I know it probably, as I say, you felt really funny doing that, but the way you did react was exactly the way she needed you to react for her to make that second decision. So good energy.
Yes, good
YouTube.
good positive energy. I've tried and film Oscar saying that. It is amusing. It's just I'm up there about it. I'm hyper focused on like how can we eke every single little moment of learning out of this, because she's missed a bit for some stuff, but yeah, we'll see. Every challenge has its wins, and every win has its challenges.
Yeah, as I just told you. That was beautiful.
That
was a quote.
It's funny. No, it wasn't beautiful. It was a slight sprinkling of sugar on what you said. We'll brand it properly. It will be okay then.
Amazing.
Do you think we should come back and look ahead to the week ahead?
Absolutely.
Cool. See you in a bit. Got a question or want to share a story? Drop us a message on Instagram or email us at NeuroDADverse@gmail.com. Look after yourselves. Welcome back into the NeuroDADverse. We are now just going to look ahead to the week ahead. It's the best named part of the podcast. Dan, what's going on for you next week?
You have such bias for this section.
2 weekends.
Yes. So, because of my solo parenting for the weekend, recording on our usual Sunday slot isn't as easy. So we're recording on Friday night, so we can give raw reactions to our first week back to school. So my week ahead is solo parenting for the next couple of days. But I do actually, I'm kind of getting out of it a little bit, maybe 30% of it, because tomorrow I've got to go to a film festival.
Oh yes, this is exciting. Not really the forum for us to discuss it. I should have said, oh yeah, awesome, congratulations, the film festival. Which I've opened it now. But yes, tell us in a couple of sentences about that then.
So we made a film called Lovebirds in Ashford around Christmas time, and it's been finished. We're sending it out to film festivals, and it got into a film festival called the Rob Knox Film Festival. It's actually the last one, and it used to be the Bexley Film Festival for a few years beforehand. So I was at the very first one, and now we've got a film showing in the very last one. So my friend and Sid, who obviously you know as well, Ben, because you were awesome and have known us a long time from our filmmaking, are going there for the day. So,
and randomly, I taught one of the crew, but we didn't know that you knew each other.
That is
right.
I did not know that. I still haven't brought that up with them as well. So if they are there,
the sprinklings of my learning all around independent filmmaking that I had no idea about. It's great.
So yeah, the good thing about that though is actually it's 4 till 7. I was expecting it to be
cool.
8 till late. So from a childcare perspective, my mum and dad are coming over for the day and pretty much watching them from like midday till midnight. And I'm like, that's cool because I can come home at a reasonable hour and still hopefully get enough sleep before if he wakes up and does a 3 a.m. disco.
So that good. increased opportunities for kind of extended family to see and build those relationships and find ways to communicate. Frankie.
Yeah, they've done it a couple of times. Frankie's comfortable going to bed with them, but obviously it's not the same routine. So again, it's the consequence of I say consequence, that sounds harsh, but the reaction to the change. I really choosing to do this, probably not on the best weekend, just when mummy isn't around, but feel comfortable enough to be able to do that. But yeah, he probably will have a late going to bed, which will hopefully work in my advantage because he'll sleep longer, hopefully, and there'll be no 3 a.m. disco. But if there is, we'll just get through it. And then just a couple of I've got a couple of worky bits in evenings and during school hours next week. And then next weekend, before our next pod recording, I can't remember what we're doing actually. I think we're busy on the following Saturday doing stuff, but tomorrow we'll
Air Extreme. I heard we're going to Air Extreme.
That is actually no joke. That's
really?
that's on the list for the next couple of weeks. If it all works out, I suppose my main thing is I know that I'm sort of leaving early afternoon, which a lot of these clubs clash. Like I can't quite make the clubs and be back without having to potentially force Frankie to be quicker than he might want to. But as it's the first week back to school, like all my plans are in pencil. I've said this all the time. I love it. So the chances are I might just let him chill tomorrow and enjoy his day with Annie and Grandad. But then Sunday, I feel that Air Extreme actually is on my list for Sunday.
Exciting.
If you fancy it, you come on down, put your money where your mouth is. I'll send you a link. But yeah, so
if I go to a bounce house, as we call them in our place, without the children, they will be annoyed because they say they don't like them and they're teenagers and they're too cool for them. You put them in the bouncing zone and they will be off. Maybe we should do a podcast where we take all of the kids to a bounce house.
Yeah.
And they can bounce and then we can see how long it takes for us to do a podcast before we're interrupted by an issue from the I don't know.
Frankie would love that.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, that's my week ahead.
So we got 2 weekends, obviously. So that means 2 league football matches. The big league kickoff for Mabel is this coming Sunday. So that'll be exciting. It'll be an exciting opportunity for her to see her challenge herself in a bigger league. They've been moved up a couple of divisions because their ability, they won their league and they've had some really good experiences playing against other teams in the cup. So that's great. And watching her manage her thoughts and feelings about her own ability and her confidence is just, and a joy. And to see her have a performance that she's not happy with and then like raise it and then come back, it's just good. It's just good. And something she's really committed to, the training and the Sundays. It's great. There's that. I've got also a that's not the right word. Get that word out of your head. A sociable event to go to. I'm going to the football with some friends. So we'll do that. Then that's on Saturday. So Laura will be solo parenting there. Yeah, and we're just into the flow of things for school. So Laura's got a couple of shifts. So that means I'll be doing solo night times, which hopefully need to be in an ordered way. And just reminding myself that one of my 3 words of the week was tidier. We're in a tidier place. And what I mean by that is we obviously did like the painting and the renovation of the kitchen. There's just an easy way to kind of set the house so it doesn't look like a show home. I don't think anyone's house really is like that unless you've got, people to do it for you, which is totally fine. But like we it doesn't look cluttered, is what I'm trying to say, because we've got spaces for stuff. So I feel like evenings run a bit smoother because it's not. I've got to do all of these jobs because all of this is everywhere. So yeah, but that means that if I can get them in a sensible way and they're in bed at a certain time, that makes the mornings more smooth and etc. etc. Just getting back
Just
into
ripple
that.
effect, innit? Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
just get into that groove. And like Laura and I had to do this the hard way, like back when just early diagnosis, Laura was working for the early diagnosis for Oscar. Laura's working A&E, and those shifts she'd start at 7:30 in the evening. Also, she'd start at 8:30 in the evening and end at 7:30 at night. She'd literally open the door, I'd high five her, I'd get in the car and drive an hour to work. It was mad, and it would be like the high five would be that one's okay, but that one's really struggling. I've done that one, but this okay, fine, and then so we're quite well versed in it, but I don't think we thought we'd still be doing similar stuff. Laura doesn't do those over the night shifts now, but the ones that she is doing, she does kind of get in around midnight and stuff. So yeah, we're just in that mode, which
Establishing new normal. Yeah.
yeah, but I'm looking forward to it being ready for it. Normally fall into it, but now we're ready for it. I think to be fair, the diagnosis has helped me focus and go, cool. Well, like I say earlier, we have it. Laura's diagnosis, I mean, we have it. What little adjustments can we do to help this scenario? And so we changed a few things about how we do mornings because I have to leave before most people are awake. But we had some things going on what we do in the evenings. Yeah, so we shall see how that goes. Yeah. Do you want to get in the bath, Dan?
Fall asleep in the bath with a candle.
Yes, why not?
Use my new bath
relaxing.
shelf. Yeah.
Did you go bath shelf in the end? Did we talk about this?
Amy has used the bath shelf. I have yet to use the bath shelf. I could be tempted now, though. Ooh, do I?
It sounds like it's part of Frankie's bath experience.
Yeah,
so
let's do it. Yeah. Gonna get
I think you need to get
all
off
the
this
toys
call.
out that he
You
does.
need to get off this
knock 'em all
call.
in.
Do a bath time as if you're Frankie. Get some trains, cover them in mud, wash them off, and see how good a night's sleep you have. Okay, before we do bath time scores, a couple of weeks ago, it was Laura and my anniversary. That was the podcast where Laura came on to talk about her most recent ADHD diagnosis. If you're a new listener or if you haven't listened to that one, go and listen. She's a wonderful, glorious human being who's fantastic to listen to.
She is.
Yeah. Not that you're not lovely, Dan, but
No. I didn't take it personally. Don't worry.
No,
But
it's fun.
she really is.
I have to admit to not always listening to all of our podcasts back, but I have listened to that one, and it's really heartwarming that she was able to share that because I know she's feeling a bit nervous about it. But you would have noticed that during that podcast, she brought over a like Lego flower that I'd bought her because she likes nothing more than like super focusing on some Lego and flowers. But sometimes the flowers in our house, actually not this year as bad, but sometimes the flower in our house don't get as much love or water that they need because they get a little forgotten about. Because as soon as they start to not look like they did in the shop, I think we switch off a little bit. However, if you're listening, Laura, yes, you are getting incredibly better at that, and I love you for it. Well done. But I then said to you, and where's my present? Because Laura had forgotten to buy a present. That's fine. It wasn't really an issue. But
was that the full story though? Because that's not how I recall.
Well, she said she said she didn't remember us agreeing to buy gifts.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not going to get into a litigation scenario about that. She did buy me a gift. it arrived in a package, a brown box in the post, and she didn't remember what she'd ordered. But then as soon as she opened it, she was like, "Oh yes, this is for you. It's something to go in my car to brighten up my day. I've got it out of shot here, and it's this." It is a cymbal that you put on the car like this. So when you're drumming in your car, you can hit a terrible cymbal and it doesn't make a noise like a cymbal. It makes a noise like a bin lid, and it makes me laugh every time I do it. So thank you very much, Laura.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Just to brighten up your day, kind of vibe present.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely, if I drive Laura, Mabel and her friends to football, I sometimes hit it, and Mabel looks at me and goes, I think she feels, "Dad, that's the most tragic dad thing you could do, is pretend to play drums and then hit a cymbal." But I've yet to drive Mabel on her own and do it, because I think she's going to love it secretly. Anyway, that is the stuff. So yes, now bath time scores, surely. Do you want to go ahead?
Yeah. So baths in general, since he's been back to school, one of the benefits of this extra hour long addition to his day, he's actually been chilling in the bath again. So my last bath score was tonight.
Oh, nice.
So solo parenting. Although I do try and bath him before Amy would get home, but if it doesn't happen, then she can be the enforcer and be like, "Let's do this," and he goes, "It's mum, she's saying it, I'm going to do it," because he always does that to me.
Good bath cop, bad bath cop.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, "Oh, I've been trying for 40 minutes." Mum walks in and says it once, and in he jumps. So no, he. What was nice about tonight, actually, I said, "We're getting in the bath." He wanted me to put the telly on. He ate his dinner. We went in the garden. I'm like, we bath, then we watch telly.
Oh, you did some when then?
Yes, I did.
I love a bit of when then.
I am starting to when then. Since this pod, that has been a lovely additional benefit. So I was like, I'm doing it. I go sit upstairs. He gets FOMO eventually. He follows. And then he came in, looked at me, and we just started being silly on the bed. He just likes like rolling around and lifting, making me stand up and whatever else. So he kind of was just chilling on the bed. And then I was like, "We get in the bath now?" And then he just got up and walked, and I said, "Arms," took his stomach, and he got in. And then he laid down, and then he chilled. And that's how I know that obviously school has taken a lot out of him, although he's happy to go at the moment or whatever else. But he was actually laying in the bath, which is something he hasn't done all summer.
Amazing.
So he was chilling. So I'm going to give it an 8.
Sweet.
Probably could be more. But
a chilled 8.
A chilled 8. He listened to me. We had a little bit of interaction beforehand, which was nice. And then he got out. He let me, I have to put cream on him because he gets really bad heat rash, sweat rash.
Okay.
And he just let me do all that, really happy, got dressed into his pajamas, looked at me like, "And now we go downstairs to watch TV." And I'm like, "Absolutely." So, and then he chilled there watching telly for about an hour and then got into bed. Hence why we can record a podcast on a Friday night. So
nice. Well done, Frank. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Frank. Yeah. So all this week he's been chilling and enjoying his bath again, which is nice.
Good. So on what were we going to be? Tuesday was ended up being bath night. Because the other word I used for my three words of the week was whirlwind, because don't really think I've stopped. My brain has met loads of new kids at school, loads of new classes, teaching some stuff I haven't taught in a while. It's been quite a lot, so I'm not sure of where my days are, but I think it was Tuesday, because then they were both back to school on the same day. And Tuesday is Mabel's football training day. We get back late, so Laura did bath time. We will reset on Sunday to our Sunday night bath. I will leave the pod record and go and do it every Sunday. And Oscar really, really wanted to wash their own hair and do things independently. Laura said no, effectively. She found that really frustrating, in fact. Well, it wasn't quite that. She found it frustrating because she'd tried to get Oscar to do it, and Oscar really wanted to do it, but not then, and it was taking a long time, and she was really conscious about trying to get a good early night's sleep. So she did give it a 6.5 because
We're doing half points now.
oh well,
God, Laura, you've just thrown the format completely out the window. I didn't know. I might have gone for an 8.5 then if I'd have known half's on the table. I didn't quite think tonight warranted a 9, but anyway.
listen, the summer has been odd. We got a 10 and a 9, and I wasn't involved in the bar thing. We'll be back to our standard 5 or 6 next Sunday when I'm in control, and it takes 4 hours, but Oscar does mainly himself, themselves. Yeah. So it's that balance. We think it's really important that Oscar has different experiences with adults because, well, it's not made for them, and reasonable adjustments, yes. So, yeah, we'll go back to it being me because Laura doesn't enjoy that sensory overload, and she does very much view it in her eyes as a task to be done. The more efficient, the better, and she can do it better than him. She can do it better than them, so she should do it. But yeah, so we see both sides of the coin on that one. So yeah, a 6.5 for us this week.
That's nice. And again, just bear in mind that the 9 and the 10, that's Laura's point of view, not yours. It's not that you're bad at bath time. It's you view it and experience it differently.
Yes, no, I know. Still, the 10 is still their nana. But that's on our criteria because we weren't expecting one to happen. Oscar asked for it, and they were pretty independent about it. And
That's
then
awesome.
Mabel helped afterwards. So, glorious, glorious, glorious. Nice. Well, this has been lovely, Dan. Really, really glad, because I will tell you this. When I drove home from work today, not knowing we were going to do an evening record, I kind of thought, well, we've had a bit of interaction, but we've both been very busy because getting kids back into school and readjusting that to that juggle is odd. And I thought, I think we've had I think us in our household have an okay week, but I was I was a little bit worried how it was going to be for Frank, to be honest. So I am genuinely delighted that he's had such a smooth transition back to being in school, and also those transitions with the change of time and everything have been good. I appreciate it's come with some sleepless nights and some frustrations and some stresses, but I'm it would have been a pod either way, but I'm glad we're kicking off week 1 of September in a positive way, mate.
I literally just had a brainwave. Thank you so much for that. Because you said that, I've now had a brainwave. So on his second day back, we actually got a note back in his notebook that said,
exclusive bonus content on the pod. We're going to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Go on, tell me.
So Frankie ate the mixed pasta with a peach and pear sponge. And I'm like, I'm not surprised at that because he eats cake every day. I didn't expect him to eat that particular sponge, but normally I just get Frankie ate this, changed X amount of times. Then he's just said, just wanted to let you know, Frankie had an amazing day today, particularly in the afternoon. He has been engaging and playing with his peers and completing many activities, ! And I was like, and that is why functioning with zero sleep is worth it, because we've never, I don't think in the two years he's been there, I don't think they've ever just randomly put in by the way, we had a great day today. So that was a real positive.
And that's a member of staff there going, isn't this surprising? We see this kid every day. That's worth noting in a book. It's great, mate.
Yeah, so he's probably just learnt to be a bit more authoritative and whatever else over the holidays, and he's gone into school going, this is what I'm going to do. But no, great progress. So yeah, just you saying that, I was like, actually,
nice.
I should have started with that because that was a big win.
Yes.
But yeah, no, lovely to hear from you, sir. Maybe another Friday night might not be out the question for pods if needed. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, nice, good stuff. I might need to get another light somewhere though. It is quite dark. All right, lovely stuff. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much, everyone, for listening and watching along to the NeuroDADverse. We genuinely, so having some interactions about this podcast were not really what we were expecting, but realizing that lots of you are listening and watching and just kind of taking an interest is fantastic. It's tough to parent neurodivergent children, and we know that through our experiences. Doesn't mean that it's any more or less than the children that you are parenting or supporting or caring for. It's just our experience, and we hope that by sharing these, maybe you pick up some things, or you just resonate, or it's just nice to listen to a couple of people who are genuine friends over a long time talk about this. If you are listening and you'd like to tell other people about it, that would be rad too. And if you want to tell them where they can find us, we are on Instagram and TikTok, and we've got a Gmail, and all of that is NeuroDADverse.
We've got a nice new Linktree link in all of our videos now and social media posts. Click on there, you can find us everywhere we're at. Everywhere
Nice.
we're at. Win the week, everyone.
Which, for example, Air Extreme. We will be there. Bye, mate. See you next week.
See you later, mate. Have a good one.
That's about it for the NeuroDADverse. We'll be back next week.
If you laughed, cried, or nodded in tired agreement, don't forget to follow us and leave a review. It helps more parents find us.
Just remember, you're doing great.
You are enough, and you are definitely not alone.
Got a question or want to share a story? Drop us a message on Instagram or email us at neurodadverse.gmail.com. Look after yourselves.